No problem. Can we make that?
I don't know. We don't have.
Jesse, did you get mic'd?
Yes.
Looks good.
This is the Rabbit R1. Our mission is to create the simplest computer. You can order the R1 now at rabbit.tech. This is some thoughts that really pushes a lot of innovations. We're small, we take the risk. But this is how we want to think about things, you know? Like we're not saying, oh, maybe we wait for 2 more years, there's more API we can work with. Maybe we can, suit up and walk into 4 apps offices talking to their executives, and maybe we can get a deal. We're like, okay, how about we get rid of all that? We don't work with APIs, we don't work with apps. We just build something from ground up.
I can see a light-colored Shiba Inu dog sitting on a wooden floor.
Apple is going to break new ground in AI this year. Do you feel threatened by any of these titans?
I'm not delusional to where that we think that we're not a startup. We are a startup. I mean, the first lesson I ever learned from Y Combinator 10 years ago is that 99% of startup will die. That's the very first lesson I learned. So as a startup, you're betting the odds, like no question about it.
I'm not familiar how it opens. Oh wow.
Wow. Feels so like butter. Oh.
Vino, can you explain the general structure of the large action model and what ultimately made you make the decision to invest us in such an early phase?
If you're trying to build something that runs your apps for you, a large language model may not be the right thing. That's when you design a model that learns how to use any software it runs into and gets better over time. That, to me, is an action model. It takes these actions. The model is specialized in this function of going from the way you want to ask for things and the way something translates into actions.
Why do these awkward hardware accessories garner so much attention when the phone we already have is way more capable and powerful?
And so over time, if they don't have a revenue model that's recurring, they're simply going to run out of cash.
It could have been a $50 app. I think you're right.
Having done a little bit of research, I feel like we might be getting fleeced.
Dave 2D in the house. Dave, would love to hear some of your thoughts about things you've heard tonight.
Sorry, I was eating dinner.
Oh, cool. No worries, man. Enjoy your dinner.
Minutes later.
Do you feel threatened by any of these titans?
I don't care. Like, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. Wow. Wow, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Such a great venue, such a great event. But hey, let's jump right into it. Thank you all. So, someone on the internet said, there's a post, says, on January 10th, right, a day after the launch, says, if it works half what he says in the keynote, I'll be happy. And now let's see where we are right now. I'm going to show you every single thing that your R1 day one can do. This is a brand new unit. I just took it out, set it up in the backstage. Well, one thing that I want to introduce first is about this travel case. I think this is the first time I showed directly to the community that apart from the $199 no subscription great deal, we actually designed the very first accessory, okay, for the R1 that came free with every single packaging. Okay, let's keep the laughter going because that ease my nerve. Okay, so let's open it up like that. It's a vintage cassette tape design that also fits the narrative, and I'm going to take it out. This is the Rabbit R1. So, I think one thing that a lot of people are not getting it from my numerous demos, homebrew style on Discord, is about the color, right? Would you guys agree? Yeah. This color is unreal, and it fits nicely. And let's cut all that. Let's jump into demo, okay? You guys know me, you guys know my style, okay? All right. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go through one by one, and I'm gonna show you entire stuff that R1 Day 1 can do. And let's start with search. And before we get into that, I just wanna show you under this camera, okay? How to get into the settings. So you just shake twice really nicely like that. There you go. You go to the settings. And we redesigned the entire UI. And now everything fits nicely, work alongside the analog scroll wheel. And I encourage you guys to try how it feels. There's a nice click sound, and there's a nice resistance to it. So there's a whole bunch of settings under here, okay? And what I'm gonna show you guys is that now you know how to get into the settings. I'm gonna go to the network, okay? And I'm gonna show you that this, you have the cellular, you have the Wi-Fi, and it works on both, okay? So now let's get into the Wi-Fi again, because I saw that shows turn that off. Let's just use cellular, because why not, okay? So this is 4G LTE. Again, this part cannot be rehearsed. You guys know that, right? So if it breaks, I'm gonna try one more time. If it breaks multiple times, we're gonna fix it, okay? You know we're gonna fix it. All right, okay, search. Let's start from simple stuff. Right? I think one of the most interesting queries that people always love to try first is almost like Hello World. If you're coding, if you publish the first site, is of course ask about weather, right? So let's just try that. And we're gonna move to the more challenging part. So what's the current weather in Los Angeles?
Looking it up now.
Again, this is 4G LTE. There you go.
The current date is Wednesday, April 24th, 2024. The weather in Los Angeles is expected to be cloudy early, with partial sunshine expected late.
So this is roughly
66 degrees Fahrenheit,
80% of the speaker volume.
Fahrenheit. Winds will be from the SSW at 5 to 10 miles
And I want to
per
show
hour.
you how nicely the new UI fits into the R1 form factor. So it's really simple. You scroll down, and if you want to go back to the home page, you just go all the way back up. Simple click. That's where you go back. Okay, so now let's move to the more advanced search. We really worked hard on both hardware and software side. That we want to make the R1 the fastest device out there, and also we want to make the R1 the smartest device out there. And this is a long way to go, and everyone is working on this brand new AI domain. So there's a lot of new things that we learn every single day. But I have to say that over the past couple months, we really improved a lot. So I'm going to show you advanced reasoning with stacked questions, and let's test it out. Again, everything is live. I'm not sure if it's going to work. So okay, hopefully it works. So who won the 2011 Formula One Drivers' Championship? While you're at it, who is the designer behind the car that won the championship? So I'm just stacking two questions together.
Looking it up now. The 2011 Formula One Drivers' Championship was won by Sebastian Vettel, driving for Red Bull Racing. The designer behind the car that won the championship was Adrian Newey, who has more than 20 Formula One World Championship titles to his name when you combine both the drivers' and constructors' titles.
Happy? Okay. Another thing that I have to mention, I give huge credit, is about the new voice, right? The sound of Rabbit. So I'm working closely with 11 Labs. Both teams has weekly sync-up calls every 7 days, and we really want to bring a lot of the stuff that they offer to their customer to the R1, which I'm going to come to that part a little bit later. So let's move on. One thing that I didn't expect myself to enjoy that much is about the AI vision, right? And talking about the AI vision, come on guys, this is real life Pokédex. You guys know that, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's try some AI vision stuff. And again, let's start from the simple one to the more advanced ones. I think the equivalent of the weather query, the most simple question of AI vision now is what's in front of you, right? And you have such an amazing crowd here, so I'm going to just do that. Double tap, the camera rotates, and just not yet. So check this out. Check this out. So now the vision camera or the camera works with analog scroll wheels too. So I can just literally do that. It flips. Back and forth. Try one more time. It flips. Okay. So let's just do that. What's in front of you?
Let me see.
1.
There's a crowd of people.
I'm counting.
The image shows a large group of people.
That's sub 2 seconds after let me see.
Some kind of event or concert venue with bright lights illuminating the scene.
Okay, that's pretty fast. Or should I say this is the fastest all there, guys? Yeah. All right, so I post all my demos on Discord all the time. You guys know that, right? And we love you, thank you. It's been like I think much over 100 demos I posted during the last 104 days. But I saved one for you guys for today. Okay, just for today. This is a simple spreadsheet that my colleagues hand-drawn, okay? And come on, I can do better than that. You guys know that, right? But again, I want to show you something much more interesting, okay? So let's just point right into this. So let's do something like, for this spreadsheet, transcribe it and swap the color and number columns.
Taking a look now.
You don't need to point it, by the way.
The spreadsheet has been transcribed. Please
Okay.
check your email for the attachment.
Wait, what? There's an email. Guys, check your watch. Check your watch. Okay. I want to make sure this is not a spam because it's called Rabbit. We got spammed a lot. Okay, I'm gonna put this down for a bit. It looks like it says, here's the revised spreadsheet you asked for. And it came with a little nice attachment in a CSV file. Let me just download it. Guys, R1 is real. Yeah, I'm happy. Team really pushed a lot of efforts to make this happen. Again, this will be the first device currently on the market that can do this. Okay, you can ask Vision to examine a spreadsheet, a couple lines of code, but to revise it and send an email with the correct format as an attachment at the blink of a second, This is the only one, okay? And I'm happy we're not the most expensive one. Great. Okay, you guys are giving me confidence right now. So let's move to the next one. This one though, this is actually a community request feature. And you guys know that I'm on Discord all the time. I'm everywhere. I listen. I check all the messages. Okay, I listen to you guys, and the entire team listen to you guys. So a lot of people been asking since day one, can I have a keyboard? Can I have a keyboard, right? Where's the keyboard? And I don't want to show it. And then people be like, he's not showing it. Maybe that's not real. Okay. You guys know Discord. Okay, that's how Discord works. That's how Twitter works. So again, let's give it a tool quick shake. Go to the settings menu. It says enable terminal. I'll just enable that. Wait, I don't think it works. Nothing happens, right? Until now, I think I showed this to some of the guys, right? And people immediately start asking, oh, okay, so you can make a keyboard, no big deal. But why it locks to this side? Why can I hold like that, okay? There's actually a lot of reasons that we lock this to the particular horizontal from this side. I'm gonna show you something real quick. With the terminal mode, of course you get a keyboard, but also that means most likely you are not available to talk, right? So automatically the sound is muted. So you're just getting kind of like a silent mode here. So let's just ask, stock price of Apple. All right, so I just text a macquery here. But let me explain why we lock to this horizontal. Because have you guys remembered, like in the early days with computers with only keyboard, that one of the most pressed button, like when I grew up, I remember like most of the keyboard I ever experienced had some issues of the right arrow and the left arrow. Because people are using that to navigate to the lines all the time, right? And we're like, okay, we should do that. Now check this out. There's a blinker. So you can use your scroll wheel, it fits nicely in your hand, and just move the blinker back and forth. And once you guys pick up your R1, you unbox it, and I want you guys to do one thing. Just put your R1 next to a regular phone, and you realize, like, even though R1 footprint is quite tiny, this keyboard is not actually smaller than the smaller iPhone, and actually a little bit larger than the smaller iPhone, and just a little shy of the iPhone Pro Max model. So you're not getting a smaller keyboard, okay? But you feel really nice and type on this, and there's a really nice haptic feedbacks on it every single time you press a button. Another reason we kind of like do this, not only because of this, but also if you are typing, one of the most satisfied feedbacks you can get is smash the enter button, right? Who would like to use this little virtual enter button, right? You punch, like that. There you go. So think about this. You type, you punch. You move your cursors, you type, you punch. It gives you the answer right away. And there's another reason that why we designed the keyboard on this side. This is pretty self-explanatory. The travel case also doubles as a kickstand. Sits nicely and put your R1 horizontal with the terminal mode. And we work really hard on the mechanisms to make sure that this cut line is right below the edge of the screen, okay? And because we put like this, you still have your USB-C charging port here. And you guys know that we're working on the USB-C stuff, but I can tell you guys, it will support a wired keyboard or wireless keyboard, and we're unlocking the entire USB-C capability for you guys. just a really nice little cyber deck on your desk. This is, I've been secretly running like this for many, many weeks. And I like to have my main computer, and I have much bigger screens all over the place, but I have my R1 sit like this, and I connect it with a little tiny Bluetooth keyboard, a very portable keyboard. And then this is my dedicated AI device. Like, I just ask questions just from here. You guys know we have the Perplexity good stuff from it, right? So it doesn't distract me from other devices. I don't need to switch back and forth. And it just sits nicely like that, okay? So that's terminal mode. So let's just turn that off. There's a whole bunch of more things, okay? So we're gonna go through that one by one, all right? So let's move to the next one, translation. We work really hard on bidirectional translation with R1. This is not some super mind-blowing feature. A lot of things offers translation, like you can get a Google Translator working on your phone, you can download third-party apps, and some of the latest AI device that supports bidirectional translation. But what we really work on in this particular case on R1 is that one thing that I noticed about all the regular translator apps or services is that you have to take turns. You guys know what I mean? Like you set A language to B language, and it's hard locked that you have to take turns. So you say something in English, and then it's Japanese turn, right? And then Japanese is English turn. You cannot make free flow dialogues because in the natural language dialogue, I could say 3 lines of English and then get 1 line of Japanese in return. So how can we make that? So we work really hard to make the R1 translator automatically detect language, and it doesn't need to be taking turns with each other, okay? So to do that, again, it's really simple. You don't need to remember 10 gestures or anything. You just hold one button. It's really simple. So let me do this. Start translating from Spanish to English.
Translation mode is initiating.
There you go. You got a little nice translator. It will also print your captions right down here. I don't know how to speak Spanish, so I'm going to invite one of my colleagues on the stage and do this live demo with me. So Rafael, where are you? Shall we do this?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so hey, Rafael, what do you think about my keynote performance so far? You can bring to the... Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Sí.
I don't know. Okay. Okay, your turn now.
Pues hasta ahora me parece bien, pero quiero escuchar tu música.
So far it seems good to me, but I want to listen to your music.
Wait, what? Who said I'm going to play some music? It's really simple.
Cool.
Shout out to Rafael, one of our top designers, mastermind behind the new UI. Good job. Okay, so that's a translation.
Thank you.
I'll take your...
There's a lot of more. Okay, let's just move to the next one. Okay, let's do notes. This feature is really simple, but it's quite handy. I want to take this chance to introduce you the rabbit hole, how it works. Okay, so again, any single time you want to remind something or take a quick note, you just grab your R1 and be like, note this for me. Per community request, I will do a synth performance after the keynote.
Saving your note.
Says saving my note.
Got it.
Okay.
I've saved the sense performance to the rabbit hole as requested.
So it saves my note like that. And now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to switch the signal to my computer right here. This is the first time that you guys see the rabbit hole, right? Want to make sure you guys can see my computer. You can access the website anywhere. Oh. That's interesting. That's not R1's fault, by the way. You guys know that. All right, there you go. So Rabbit Hole will remember every interaction with you, and for sure, it's right here, okay? And I said that with my accent because I know it will pick up wrong because, again, I want to show you can actually edit everything here. And there is no save button, right? Because you don't need to. Your every input is automatically synced and saved to your Rabbit Hole. And everything is exportable. You can download that node right away. You can export to other stuff. We're gonna work on a lot of stuff to have this link to other stuff. But give it.
Make a laptop.
There we go. So let's see if that. Oh, I think it's just a website. It's just the Wi-Fi. So yeah. So I will just add it like that, and we'll show you other stuff later on with the video recording, which I can also edit. So let's move to the next one, and hopefully this internet won't break. Yeah. We're on 4G. I mean, come on, guys, right? All right, so let's move to the next one. It's the voice recording. So what if you want to have R1 remember something longer than just a quick note or shopping list or something like that? A lot of people been asking about this feature. I think I saw at least one product that make a dedicated AI recorder that goes next to your iPhone with a MagSafe, and about the same price of R1, by the way, with subscriptions. So I think, maybe we should just offer this feature for you guys for free, okay? And now here we are. So another thing is that for recording an hour-long meeting, you don't need to press and hold a button all the time, right? That doesn't make any sense. So to do the voice recording, you just simply say, start a recording session. There you go. Yeah. It's a little tape recorder, and then you can literally leave your R1 like that and continue your meeting. It's going to pick up all the sound around you, and more importantly, the AI will be able to summarize the key points from the recordings. Me being a huge fan of making music, this can go very nicely as a trip field recorder, right? You can just go there and record some nature sound, and later you do the sampling and stuff. Or you can, record your important meeting for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour long, no problem. So just to test how it works, I would say something completely irrelevant, okay? Just to make sure that it picks up everything and give me a summary. So I'm gonna take my colleague Simon to a Disneyland tomorrow, and he's really rejecting my offer, and I couldn't figure out why, but then I realized he's actually from UK. That makes more sense, okay? So I'm just saying some random stuff. And once you're done recording, just stop, set your session, save to Rabbit Hole, and please, internet, please work. I think I should connect this one, maybe. Okay, let's see if it works. There you go. So you got your entire uncompromised, uncompressed WAV file, okay? And you can play back, you can fast forward, you can backwards, and let's just play right now. There you go. Huge fan of making music, this can go over, record your, and it's really rejecting my offer, not our no problem. So, yeah, so that's what I just recorded. And guys, you can check your timestamps, right? That validates itself. So you can actually download this uncompressed WAV file to your computer, export to other stuff, export Ableton, do some quick sampling and make a beat and something like that. Or you can save that as evidence later you want to sue some people, I don't know. I'm joking, by the way. Okay, so it actually gives me a nice summary. I'm going to ask you to move a little bit so that they can see here. okay? And everything is automatically synced. I can also add my own personal comment, which I'll just put a simple language. There you go. It's right there. So everything you input automatically saves, okay? This feature alone, probably $199, guys. All right, so that's about the RabbitOS default features, right? Out of the box, you have everything. And a lot of these features, we don't just build that feature because it's cool. We actually love using that features ourselves. And I think it's really, really practical, right? And everything you get from here, obviously, way faster, way more intuitive than you have to go to your phone and figure out how to do that and log into 5, 4, 6, 7 different accounts and trying to get everything synced. Everything is right here. I really like that. And now let's talk about interesting stuff. Large language model. Yeah. No, but it's large action model. Got you. All right. So before this event, someone posted on the GitHub says, "Oh, Rabbit source code is leaked." I was in the backstage preparing, so I panicked. I called my CTO, and we figured out. Okay, so don't worry about that. That's false claims. I want to take this chance to tell everyone that we don't have a emergency situation like that. The fact is, we published the rabbit hole early for you guys to see what's there. And LAM lives somewhere else, which I'm going to show you today, okay? And let's get right into it. Let's do from simple stuff. Again, play music is very, very, very simple. I showed this multiple times, and most of you guys know how it works. But we did a lot of optimization on speed, so let's give it a try. Play Our Friends Electric by Gary Newman.
On it, I'll get the music going for you.
Oh, there you go. It was buffering the previous one. So it's really, really fast. It takes 1 second or less than 1 second to get your music streaming. And I want you guys to see my computer because I have the Spotify open up like that. And I'm going to pause for a second because we don't have the copyrights. I love Gary Newman, by the way. So with LAM, because it's directly operating on the actual app's interface, what that means is that everything is automatically synced, okay? So not only Spotify, I showed this case to people, a lot of people don't get it, but every single service, the data are synced. So on Spotify, there's a particularly handy feature is that if you go here, let's just play for a sec. See? R1 plays. And if I just play here, you see that? The LAM go there and help press the buttons. So that also means what I can do is I can just redirect the sound to whatever channels you want. And I've been using this feature myself because I was driving and my car connected to my CarPlay system. I was thinking, okay, maybe I need to have my car system to connect to R1 Bluetooth, but it turns out you don't need to. You just keep your CarPlay with your car system. All you need to do is go to the Spotify app on your phone and change play to that phone instead of play on R1. Then you can still use R1 as a remote control, okay? So now what I'm doing here is I changed this to this computer. Let's see if that plays. There you go, for sure it plays through this computer. And let's just try another song, okay? There you go. It plays. And pause. It pauses. Just like that. So to go back, you go back like that. And there's a music card. And you have your home screen as well. Okay? So let's try something else. Play Pocket Calculator.
Getting the music going now.
There you go. Plays my computer. So this is a music feature, and I've been showing this multiple times. I've been using it every day. I love it. This is the best modern iPod you can get. And let's move to the next much anticipated stuff. So let's try get some food from McDonald's, shall we? Yeah. So food. We're working with Lam is working with multiple apps, but DoorDash is going to be available on day one. And before we go into the DoorDash and Uber, I have to admit that during our process training with Lam, that we realized there's a significant difference between each service interface reload speed. Okay, some of the service reload faster, some of the service reload a little bit slow. Things like DoorDash, because it's bunch of photos of each items reloading at the same time. So I have to say the speed here is not optimal yet to our standard, but it works. But I want to show you, and I want to be frank with you guys, and this is not as fast as Spotify, but let's make it work. So let's go back to home, and let's order some McDonald's. Can you get me McDonald's for food, please?
Okay, let's get your order started.
Okay.
DoorDash may take a while to load on RabbitOS and may not be available in all regions.
Yeah, we tell people it takes time, and we tell people, okay, maybe there are some addresses that DoorDash won't deliver, or maybe there are some locations globally that wouldn't offer this service as well. But while we're waiting for that to load, and I know 4G is going to be a challenging, but I want to go back in here and show you guys. I think I have a DoorDash website opened up. This is what I'm talking about. This speed is a bit slow, but we're working on it to get it much faster. And the speed is not because of Lam is slow, it's because of the DoorDash interface just a little bit slower than the other services. And I think it just gave me a random restaurant, and I want to try that one more time, so sorry for that. I'm hungry, get me some McDonald's for food. Hopefully it works. I know the problem is that the TWA, there's a lot of restaurants that wouldn't deliver to here. So let's give it another try, okay? Yeah, I want to be as generous as possible, right? Yeah. So let's wait for a little bit and see if it works. Meanwhile, I'll order this food for real. So later you will realize that Rabbit actually says your order is being prepared and your order is getting delivered. Okay. So let's give it another try. There you go. So we got McDonald's. You guys can see this. You guys still can see this, right? Okay. So let's go to McDonald's. And I know sometimes the echo of this mic will give it a little bit trouble. Yeah, I'm waiting for you. So it's going to load the menu. And let's just get a chicken McNuggets meal, right? How about that? So it will give you all the menu options with the most popular dishes. And again, you see, you can scroll like this. So let's get this. And it added to the cart. And let's move all the way down. So you see the cart. And while it shows that, no one's touching this computer, right? And the DoorDash being here all the time. So it takes a little bit of time because of the 4G with DoorDash in particular case. But I want to do this. What I'm doing is I'm just trying to refresh the page. You see? And it shows on my R1 too. So let's go check out. And during the initial setup process, you'll be asked to set up your own 4-digit PIN. And we only need the 4-digit PIN when it's money related. Okay? When you're paying something, whether DoorDash or Uber, we ask you for your PIN. We're not gonna set a lock-unlock every single time you have to input your PIN. We don't do that. So it calculates all the fees and all that. I just pay because, again, it connects to my credit card on the DoorDash as well. So for the demo purposes, I set it to 4 zeros. And it's a nice little cursor that you can scroll up and down for the ping. So it says placing an order. And well, this guy is doing this. Let's see what's going on the other side, on the website, OK? So let's just give a little refresh. Oh, the shopping cart is gone. All right, so what happens? I put one of my random friend's address, okay? So that guy's gonna get a McNuggets meal. It says your order has been placed, okay? So it works. But before I go to the next one, I have to say, order food is no big deal from your phone, right? You can use that, use your app. But this structure of large action model, this is its first baby step, right? We want to go from here and to much more advanced stuff. So there's no shame for us to show simple features like that, because again, no one have done this structure yet, and this is absolutely not through API or SDK. This is large action model directly operating as rabbits, or a lot of people call agents, right? So I'm glad this works. So let's move to the next one, getting an Uber. Let's go to the ride share. And get me a ride from 200 West 15th Street, New York to MoMA Museum, please. Taxi.
Just kidding.
Oh, what?
Finding a ride now.
Finding a ride now. That's a nice little touch from, yeah. So what happens right now, again, is LAM is going to Uber after user authenticates through Uber and get me the Uber service going. So here it says confirm pickup. You can actually, right here, you can actually press and hold and change address if you want, okay? So you can continue because the address is correct. MoMA, that's correct. And then it will start searching for available drivers. And meanwhile, let's go to the Uber page, and let's see what's going on. Each website is different. Each services are different. For Uber, I don't need to refresh to see the card, because there's no card. You will just see your ride starts going right away. So let's get the cheapest one. So UberX, and there's all the different selections right here. So let's go UberX. Again, money related, we ask you for the ping. So there you go. It says processing, and it just starts deploying the Rabbit social driver for you. And we'll see from here. Someone from this team needs to cancel that, okay? Because we don't wanna. Okay. What's this guy's name? Okay, it's getting canceled. Thanks. Thank you. But it works, okay? It works just like that. Okay, so now I want to move to the most interesting one. Okay, so generative AI. This one is quite special because remember back in the stage on January 9th during my original keynote, I introduced the teach mode. Do you guys love teach mode? Yeah. It's much anticipated features that on the stage I actually showed how to train through teach mode. The particular case I was working on was basically just go to Midjourney and on their Discord Midjourney bot and show the RabbitOS how to do it, and it just learned by itself. Even though the teach mode is not generally available right now, but we decided to make Jesse's little Midjourney Rabbit available for all you guys on R1 on day one for free. Okay. So again, because there's no interface from Midjourney, there's no app, there's no dedicated website. It's just a Discord interface. So that's how I want to do this. I don't need to go to the Discord. This is just to show what's going on the back end. So let's think about a prompt. You can really say, generate an image of whatever prompt you want. Let me find a good one. Generate an image of a whole bunch of rabbits celebrating their event at New York TWA Hotel, 4K HDR, Japanese anime style. How about that?
Generating now. This will take a bit.
OK, so while we're waiting, the large action model is deploying that exact query and directly operating on Discord interface through Midjourney bot. And again, this is just how I want to make sure this is connected to the internet. There you go. If you can move a little bit. It's right there.
Yeah.
And it just takes Midjourney somewhere around 10 to 40 seconds, depending on the internet, depending on their speed to generate the image. So now it shows the exact prompt, and from Jessie Liu, and it's 35% is ongoing. Okay. Meanwhile, don't worry about your R1. Once the image has been fully generated, it will be streamed to your device right away. There you go. And it's right here. So again, use analog scroll wheel. You can go through all the images. Isn't that cool, huh? Yeah. So any prompts, just say generate an image of whatever prompts you like, use Midjourney. It will just do the magic. By the way, during the entire process, you don't need your computer, you don't need your phone. Okay? I'm only showing this part to show it's actually operating on their interface. That's the only purpose. Cool? Yeah. All right, thanks. That's all the demo for today, and all these features are truly unfiltered, exactly like how it should perform, and just like that. And you guys will pick up your device and try for yourself. Okay? And one thing I have to say is that, yes, there's a lot of space that we can improve, for sure. For sure we'll run into a bunch of bugs and issues, but we're all here to fix everything as fast as possible and listen to you guys, okay? That's our dedication, okay? But I don't think MKBHD will say this is the worst device he ever reviewed so far. All right, so let's do a little bit recap. All right, so let's do a little bit recap. I don't think MKBHD will say this is the worst device he ever reviewed so far. All right, so let's do a little bit recap. The night before January 9th, I told my team we'll be happy if we can sell 3,000 units in total, okay? We sold 8,000 in the first 24 hours. And we've sold more than 100,000 units in just one quarter. R1 right now is the best-selling AI-native device to date. No question about it. And we're the only AI-native product in the market at the moment that has no subscription fee. Well, in the past 90 days, we quadrupled our size of the engineer teams. Wow. Okay? We closed another round led by Sound Ventures. And I want to give a huge shout out. Sound Ventures, Ashton Kutcher, Guy Osdery, amazing, amazing human beings. And more importantly, we've been adding tremendous amount of value to this $199 device, non-stop with our partners. I want to shout out to all these great partners. You guys want Perplexity? We got Perplexity, right? You guys want 11 labs? We got 11 labs. You guys want the best model? We go there and work restlessly with the best AI teams right now with language models, OpenAI and both Anthropic. We just keep adding value to this thing, okay? And when a startup sets out to do something completely different, the most important thing is to bring the right people on the board, okay? That's why today, at this very special moment, I'm so thrilled to announce Jasper from Teenage Engineering. To join Rabbit as the Chief Design Officer. And I just want to say Jasper will still serve his role at Teenage Engineering. We built this decade-long relationship together. Jasper built Teenage Engineering into one of the most respected and iconic forces in the industry design world. And we've known each other and trusted each other for almost a decade. And he has always been such a great inspiration and mentor to me. And I'm really proud to be able to work with him side by side this time. He and the Teenage Engineering team were instrumental in co-designing the R1, and I cannot wait to see what we can achieve together in the future. Now let's talk about a little bit of future milestones. Now that you've seen what R1 can do on day one, I want to give you an exclusive view of the features that will be rolled out on the R1 through OTA, or over-the-air updates. And first, a very important feature, and probably the most crazy feature that we're missing, is the alarm. Okay? I've been reading the reviews, and apparently, alarm is a very important feature that we missed, and sorry for that. So first of all, we'll get an alarm on R1, okay? We'll work on that. Okay, that joke aside, in all seriousness, here are a whole bunch of features that you should expect in the coming months. Okay? These features are in alphabetical order. Okay? These features are in alphabetical order. And I can highlight some of the features. So for here, summer 2024, all these fundamental basic features, we're going to have a long memory recall. We have that feature. It's just not robust enough. We're going to work on that, make it the best memory recall features on the market. There's a lot of rabbit hole updates. People been saying, hey, apart from playing tracks and albums on Spotify, can we create playlists, right? Can we add more advanced stuff? Yes, we're working on that. And again, community requested feature that I can work on in the first 15 minutes is Suno, okay? So we're gonna bring Suno to the R1, just like Midjourney, and it's gonna be awesome. We're gonna also include Wolfram Alpha and its entire knowledge set, because Wolfram Alpha truly has a cluster of unique knowledge that the current language model are not really handled really well. And then there's a lot of features already in development. You have the Amazon Music, Apple Music, and all the other stuff. Shopping, I like to emphasize. So, I like to use a vision feature. I point to my Diet Coke cans, emptied cans. I said, hey, I want to get another pack, right? I wish Lam can go to Amazon and just guide that for me, okay? So we're working on that. And there's a lot of planned features. On the planned feature, I want to highlight 1Password, because right now, you're logging through, you're not logging on the rabbit hole to connect third-party account by redirecting to their website to do that. But once Lam has supported multiple apps, that can be a hassle to the user experience. And also, I understand safety is crucial for everyone. Even though we're not saving you or storing your credentials on our end, again, there's also a great service called 1Password that can make that happen. And what I like most about it, because I'm a 1Password user myself, my other stuff is already saved, right? So there's no need for me to reconfigure everything if we can make it work. So we're working on that. Okay, so these are all the great features that's going to come in short terms. And I think for all the members that know us for a while, we move fast. Okay, we move fast. If we say we're going to do it, we're going to do it, and we move fast. All right, thank you. So on top of just making this happen, we will be actively listen and I was about to say, we actively listen and hear customers' feedbacks, and we know which direction to go. And we're working on some other accessories, okay? And I have to emphasize that we make all these accessories not because we want to be a fashion company or we just want to sell merch. We're not going to do that. The reason for this accessories, although this is early concept, are highly functional accessory to R1. Okay, this is basically my response to why would you carry two devices? I think that statement is really true, and no one likes to carry multiple devices, even though R1 is really light and slips into your pocket and you forget about it. But again, I want to solve it. I want to make R1 somewhat wearable. Okay, so that's why we designed some of the early concept of the accessories. It came with dedicated pocket for the R1. And in order to make sure that this works, we first need to make sure R1 does not overheat, okay? And it does not. So the pocket is really nice cut in a shape that work with all the features. So the push to talk button is exposed, the Rabbit Vision is exposed, and here we have some holster bags and fanny bags that go really along with the accessory. And this is, what was that?
Nipple protector.
Okay, forget about it. Okay, so these are early concept of accessory. Now let's move to the more exciting part. And we've been working really hard on teach mode, and I know a lot of people bought R1 just because they want to try the teach mode, and we appreciate that. So our researchers are really trying to make this happen as early as possible, so that now today, I'm going to show you some real progress, okay? I'm going to step aside. So this is backend. This is not the actual interface, but you get it. So this is basically our researcher go to the teach mode and basically put URL as Amazon.com and leave a task description. Basically, what this researcher wants to teach Rabbit is that go to Amazon and buy an iPhone, add to the cart. So in order to do that, it's really simple. You tell the destination, which is Amazon.com, and you just type your task description, and that's it. You start recording, and then you show exactly how this task is being converted, right? So you just show Rabbit OS once, how you do it. And of course, for these purposes, I asked the researcher to just type on it. But in the future, with the teach mode, you can actually just talk to it, right? You can talk to it to finish the task description. So all you need to do is just one shot. You show the Rabbit OS exactly what you're trying to teach. In this case, just find this particular iPhone, add to cart. And that's it. So that's the entire process. So after you show the Rabbit OS how you do that, and you just go there and end record. And this clip is going to be submitted to teach mode, and it's going to be processed by the Rabbit OS, okay? Just like that. This is the first system that you don't need to write code in a commercial level. You just show it. It's literally like, it is literally like getting your kids sitting next to you, be like, hey, watch what I'm doing and learn it. As simple as that. Now, see what happens. So after the process, we just trained an Amazon Rabbit. And it might a little bit hard to see, but you can see the cursor here is not moving at all. And you just go to the task description and say, hey, I want to buy this keyboard, I want to get an Apple Watch, I want to get a Nintendo Switch, I want to get a coffee machine, I want to get a headset. It will just do the job by itself. And you will realize, okay, so when you're adding something to the cart, for that TV, for example, so if you're adding something to the cart, here, I want to focus on this one. It says, add a 4G LTE smart TV to the cart, and it will actually recognize, okay, there's multiple sizes for you to pick, and it will ask you which size to pick. Okay, so that's how easy you train a rabbit to do new tasks. And this is the latest progress of the teach mode. We really work through the entire process to make sure that by just simply telling the AI that what you want to do and show AI once, it can create an agent or rabbits right there. Now let's talk about the release of the teach mode. And here I want to emphasize a little bit about AI safety. During the research process, while we are building the teach mode, we realized that this cannot be, this technology is really powerful, okay? It's really powerful because essentially, if we just open doors like that, anyone can train anything, and there's going to be good guys, and there's going to be bad guys. There's good intention, there's bad intention. There's good rabbits, there will be bad rabbits. And we certainly don't want people just to go there and train some malware or hackware and do something crazy. So we take a step back and we think about how we should really roll out this feature. And now we came to a conclusion that the teach mode will be still aiming to available to general public within this year, but we're going to take paces, okay? So step one is that we're going to do a very close alpha test with a small batch of people, and we're going to send the invite, and we invite them to try it out. And during this process, we'll start a phase 2, is actually, instead of training everything on anywhere, we whitelist a whole bunch of regular services, okay? So we'll whitelist a bunch of destinations, say, hey, all these are safe, validated by us, go there and do whatever training you want. And then slowly open to general public. But AI safety, because the structure, again, is so new, we cannot find any current templates that we can just copy and paste and tell people that's it. So we're actively working here on the AI safety part of the teach mode with our legal and compliance team. So give us a little bit of patience and time, but again, we're not changing the goal, which is the teach mode will be available later this year. Okay? Thank you. Now let's talk about LAM, okay? Safety part of the teach mode with our legal and compliance team. So give us a little bit of patience and time, but again, we're not changing the goal, which is the teach mode will be available later this year, okay? Safety part of the teach mode with our legal and compliance team. So give us a little bit of patience and time, but again, we're not changing the goal, which is the teach mode will be available later this year, okay? Thank you. Now let's talk about LAM. And if you think about what we have right now, in comparison to language models, there's GPT-1, GPT-2, GPT-3. We're thinking about how can we evolve this action model to do more complicated stuff. If you think about what we have right now on the Rabbit R1, I showed you guys, to play music, get an Uber, get a McDonald's, and all that stuff. You can understand this language action model as this is an agent, or this is a neurosymbolic network that learns from digital interface and operates on digital interface, right? Basically learns from UI and UX on the digital level and operates on the digital level. That brings us to the thought of what the future LAM could be. So I'm really happy today that, again, just for this event, I'm going to introduce LAM 1.5. So to move that further, I think with better sensors and better computation power, we should really be able to break the boundary of the screen and ask LAM to learn from digital to analog to physical, okay? So I think some of the guys will get this meme, but this is Jesse's thing, okay? We cannot show you today yet, but again, the understanding here is that we are pushing the action model one step further to give access to all the analog stuff received by the sensor, a better camera, okay? And I wanted you guys to think about what's stopping us from just pointing my finger to the next thermostat and ask the thermostat to change room temp to 74 degrees.
Right. Yeah.
You have to think about what's stopping us to do that, okay? So first of all, the computer needs to know exactly what that thing is. With advanced AI computation vision, we can build a whole catalog of what that is. Actually, your R1 has that feature on day one, right? Point to that thing, what that is. With better training data set, we'll be able to pinpoint that exact make and model of an analog physical project. And then right after that, that's where things start broken because again, yes, the AI learns that's a nice thermostat, but how can a link magically happen? Because we have LAM1. Because we'll have LAM1 try on the Nest and on the Google app, because that's the app that we know to connect our devices. So in theory, if we link these two parts together, ask 1.5 to start taking analog information, but take leverage of what one already learns. Then we have a stronger LAM that can just do about that. You point to your Nest thermostat and say, hey, turn my temperature to 70 degrees. And that's the best, that's the most information I can tell you today about this thing. Okay. And we're about to wrap up, so I'd like to move on to the next topic, which is going to be the final topic. During the building process, our teams start thinking about what are the future of computing? What are the future of devices and computers? Is this screen phone going to stay for another 20 years? Because everyone thinks that app works on everything, right? I think the answer is apparently no. I remember when legendary Steve Jobs introduced the iPhone, he put a lot of the best-selling phones on his keynote, and he says the problem is not about screen, the problem is about the analog keyboard, right? Remember that? He said once those keyboard has been made, because it's hardware, you cannot change it. So that's why they invented iPhone and basically they figured out the multi-touch, and they eliminated the analog keyboard to make the entire screen a blank canvas so that every app developers can build whatever stuff they want. And now we have today's great operating system as iOS or Android that we can download any app we want. And when we start thinking about the future, we start thinking about some really practical case that how we want to make the change. Because think about this. If I download a software and 10 million other people are downloading a software, again, even though it's a blank canvas, but again, we don't have the rights to decide how that interface is going to adapt to you, right? Because there's a lot of software that I use, and a lot of everyone use software. I would wish to make that button bigger, right? I would wish to get this button to the front page. I would wish to have all these features hidden to the next level while bring another 3-4 features right here. We cannot do that because once the app is developed, the UI is fixed. You follow the rule of the app releaser to learn how to use this app until they get a next update or a completely UI revamp. And this is not what we consider as personalized computing. And that's why during the past couple months, we really team up with some great minds behind the scenes, and we're trying to explore a new direction. And this is, again, extremely new direction. But Rabbit wants to show the dedication that we want to invest in this direction. So we are really looking forward to create a robust and up to our bar of a generative UI system. Okay, so the idea of this is not to replace designers. It's not to create a whole bunch of shitty designs. The idea about this is that can we build a system that's truly personal and adaptive to the end user? And can we also make sure that we build a tool that converts our designer's mind into the exact final project immediately? Okay, so it's about that. It's about that conversion. It's about that personalization. But again, this is super early in this phase. I just want to share with this you guys, because think about this. With the speed of LAM can learn based on the apps, there's going to be one day that we fall behind. Because if LAM can take 800 apps per day or per hour, there's no way we can go there and design 800 different interfaces. And knowing that interfaces are not truly personalized. So that's why we're actively researching in this new domain called generative UI. Okay, and to wrap up, another thing that's going to come in near future is I just show you guys the rabbit hole, and everything synced with rabbit hole, and rabbit hole right now is just a simple website. But I keep thinking about R1 being its portable format. There's a lot of serious tasks you want to do on computer, right? I think a lot of people are using AI to review the code. A lot of people are uploading 200s of legal documentations for AI to take a review and work together with AI on research paper, and etc. So there are more serious stuff that we can do. We know we can do, but based on the current form factor, that we know it's probably not the right place to do everything on R1. So the team are working on an upgraded version of Rabbit OS that's going to convert a single website as Rabbit Hole today to a fully AI-native desktop operating system. So we are building the bare bones of the Rabbit OS. First we want to make sure all your services connected together so that all your logs and journals happen in the same place, right? That's the first step. And the second step is that we want to make sure that this Rabbit Hole system can take advanced stuff, can take serious jobs, can take like 3 hours of request instead of just play some tracks. So we're upgrading the entire Rabbit Hole to a desktop OS. And I truly believe in the future, talking about future of personal computing, it should be just your intention, natural language, you get the result. And this, again, echoes with our vision as a new startup company. Our mission is to create the simplest computer that you don't need to learn how to use it. Okay? So that's it for now. And thank you, everyone. Before I go, I should say we are a really, really humble team. We're a small team. Okay? By launch, we're 17 people. And we work really hard to deliver your R1. And we want to be humble, and we want to keep humble, but we're not feared to take down any tasks that we need to take down. Okay, so if there's any bugs, if there's any thing that we need to fix, we just go there and fix it. So I think that's another reason we want to host this in-person event, just to have you, communicate with myself and the entire Rabbit team, just to feel that energy. I think a lot of people, when talking about AI, it automatically opens doors in your mind that you want AI to do this, this, and that. But I want to set a boundary that I can tell you guys what you're going to experience here from this $199 no subscription device is the current best AI capabilities that human can achieve. And that's been our goal, that we want to bring the best AI to this device. Okay? But it takes time. And it takes time and a lot of effort. But we're here for the hope. Okay? So that's what I'm going to say. So we're going to keep building all the good stuff and hope you guys enjoy your R1. Okay?